Hello, and welcome to this video. Today we're going to explore SQL with TiDB Serverless. TiDB is compatible with MySQL. You can use MySQL statements directly in most of the cases. Today we're going to walk you through the basic TiDB SQL statements such as DDL, DML, and CRUD operations. First, let's log in. If you followed along with our previous video, you should have a serverless cluster up and running and available for this particular video. Before we get started, SQL is divided into the following 4 types according to their functions. DDL, which stands for Data Definition Language. It's used to define database objects, including databases, tables, views, and indexes. Next up is DML, which stands for Data Manipulation Language. It is used to manipulate application-related records. Third, we have DQL, which is the Data Query Language. It is used to query the records after conditional filtering. And finally, we have DCL, which stands for Data Control Language. This is used to define access privileges and security levels. Common DDL features are creating, modifying, and deleting objects, such as tables and indexes. The corresponding commands are create, alter, and drop. Let's see how we can apply these 4 categories to our existing serverless cluster. First thing, let's connect to our cluster once again. After selecting our cluster, let's click on Connect. If you have waited some significant time between the previous video and this video, you might need to reset your password in order for you to be able to connect to your serverless cluster once again. We're going to click Reset Password. We're going to confirm. We're then going to copy password, and then we're going to copy our full string to connect once again to our serverless cluster. Please open a command prompt. Inside of your terminal, you can now paste the connection string. As you can see, we've successfully connected to our serverless cluster once again. Now we can start working on our SQL. The first step is to list all the databases. A database in TiDB can be considered as a collection of objects such as tables and indexes. To show the list of databases, we want to use the show databases statement. After we executed the show databases command, we got a return of 4 rows. Next up, we're going to choose the MySQL database to use. The command for this is use MySQL. As you can see from the results, we have now changed databases to now use MySQL. Next, we want to show all the tables in a database. We want to use the show table statement. Upon executing this command, we received 37 rows as a response. Next up, let's create another database. To create a database, we'll call this demo, and we'll use the following statement. Create database, if not exists, demo_db. Upon execution of this command, you will see that we have successfully created a new database called demo_db. The reason why we use the if not exists syntax here is to prevent an error in case the database already existed. Since we are not in need of using this database, let's delete it. The command to delete a database is going to be a drop database, including the database name. Upon execution of this command, you will see that the database has successfully been deleted. For the next section of this video, we're going to create, show, and drop a table within our MySQL database. Let's start with the create table first. In order for you to create a table, we want to use the command create table, followed by the table name, any column names, and data types, along with their constraints. Let's look at an example. We're going to create the table person. In this table, we will have 3 columns. The first one is going to be an ID, which is an integer. The second column is going to be a name, which is a varchar. And the third column is going to be a birthday, which is a date. Upon the successful execution of this command, you will see that the table has now been created. Let's confirm if this is indeed the case. If we wanted to view the statement that creates a table, which is a DDL, we want to use the show create statement. We have now been able to successfully confirm that the create table executed successfully. If you wanted to drop this table, you would be able to do that with the following statement. Drop table person. If I were to execute this command right now, it would drop the table person for me. Unfortunately, we need the table person, so I'm not going to drop it. I'm going to use it for the following sections. For this part of the video, we're going to look at how to create, show, and drop an index. Indexes are used to speed up queries on indexed columns. To create an index for the column whose value is not unique, use the create index statement. With the command, I created an index for the ID column in the persons table. I could also use the alter table statement instead. As you can see from the arrow on screen, I cannot do the same index creation 2 times in a row. This will create a conflict. If you were to choose to use the alter table version over the create index version, it will give you a successful result. Just remember, you cannot run duplicate indexes simultaneously. To create a unique index for the column whose value is unique, you can use the create unique index statement. As you can see here, we created a different kind of index, which is why I was able to successfully execute this command. You would also be able to create this unique index by using the alter table option. Just like it did previously, because we're trying to recreate the index a second time, it's generating an error. This is as expected because you cannot create 2 simultaneous indexes which will be in conflict with each other. Next up, what if we wanted to see all the indexes for a particular table? We can use the show index statement. As you can see from the results, we have 2 indexes. We have the index for person_ID as well as the person_unique as the key name. To delete an index, use the drop index or alter table statement. Drop index can be nested in alter table. Let's drop both of our indexes using each one of the options available. First, we're going to use the drop index command to drop the person_ID index that we created earlier. Next up, we're going to use the alter table option to drop the person_unique index that we created earlier. Both delete options seem to have been successful. Let's confirm that this is indeed so. As you can see, I utilized the show index from person command. It now returns an empty set, which means both indexes were successfully deleted. Next up in the video, we're going to insert, update, and delete data. Common DML features are adding, modifying, and deleting table records. The corresponding commands are insert, update, and delete. To insert data into a table, use the insert statement. As you can see on screen, we still have the person table available to us. Let's insert a value into that table. With this command, I'm going to insert 3 values into the person table. But what if I wanted to insert a record containing data of some fields into a table, but not all? As you can see, I was successfully able to update 2 out of the 3 columns with my insert statement. The next obvious question might be, how do I update some fields of a record in a table? I can use the update statement for this. In this case, I'm going to update the table person. I'm going to set the birthday 2018-08-08, where the ID equals 2. We can see that the query executed OK, 1 row was affected, and 1 row matched and changed. If I wanted to delete the data in this table, I could use the delete statement. By executing this command, I have now successfully been able to delete from the person table where the ID equals 2. So let's query the actual table to see what is now existing inside of this table after all of our commands. We can see all that remains inside of the person table is a singular row with ID 1, where name is Tom and the birthday is 12/9/2017. What we just did was query the data. This is part of the DQL. DQL is used to retrieve the desired data rows from a table or multiple tables. We started out with a select star, which is basically going to retrieve everything available inside of the person table. But what if we only wanted just a singular column? If we want to specify a column, we want to add the column name after the select keyword. As you can see, we selected the column name from the table person. Since we just confirmed there was only 1 row inside of the person table, the result gives us Tom as our query result. But what if I wanted to filter all the records that match specific conditions and then return the results to me? If we wanted to execute this, we want to run select star from person where ID is lesser than 5. This means anything lesser than 5 as the ID should be returned to us. Since we only have 1 row matching this particular statement, we should get 1 row as a result. And as you can see, Tom is returned to us as a result of our select statement. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day.